Hi everybody, it's Dr. David Gustitis, and today I want to talk to you about how chronic stress can affect fertility. If you think about it, if you are under chronic stress, you're telling your body through signals, through internal messages, through your beliefs, through your perception of your surroundings and your circumstances, that there's a threat. There's a threat to your survival. It may be real, it may be perceived, but your body is getting the signals that there's a threat and that it is not the best time to be bringing a defenseless child into this environment for whatever reason. And so if those signals are going into your body, then it becomes obvious that your body's going to try to, let's put a pause on that endeavor and wait for better conditions. So what can happen is the whole hormonal picture changes because the adrenal glands make cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and cortisol is a long-term or chronic stress hormone versus adrenaline is more of a acute stress, like an immediate situation where your heart's going to jump out of your chest because you heard footsteps behind you in the dark alley. But if it's chronic stress, like it just never goes away, your cortisol levels go up and they stay up. And cortisol will have a long-term detrimental effect on hormones. In females, it'll drop estrogen levels, and estrogen is the main driver for menstrual cycles and ovulation. If you don't have enough estrogen, you can't ovulate. And if you can't ovulate, you're not going to be able to have a baby. And so in men, chronically high stress will lead to lower testosterone levels and lower sperm counts. So over the long haul, if we continue with too much stress, these hormonal changes will lead to our inability to have the right hormonal balance for fertility. In my practice, we try to look at what are the root causes that are driving these hormonal imbalances, driving this chronic stress. Let's try to look at what is happening in the environment of that individual, as well as what can we do to release some of these patterns. Because sometimes long after the stressor is gone, the body stays stuck in that pattern. It's almost like the energy of that stress stays in there, leaves a mark, and we stay kind of in that guarded fight or flight mode for the long haul because we never really got out of it. Our nervous system is great at learning, and if it got exposed to a stressor or a threat at one time in our life, we're going to be on the lookout for when that stressor is going to happen again, and we can almost assign stressful values to the things that we encounter from day to day, even if they're not really the stressor. But they're close to it, and our body says, whoa, that's really, really similar to that thing that we encountered before, or the environment I was in before, so I'm just going to keep protecting myself just for my own safety and survival. But expanding our adaptability, expanding our capacity to handle those environments requires both changing the environment, but also changing our internal body's capacity. So with chiropractic care, we look at helping the nervous system to release some of those imbalances. If you think of it as a teeter-totter, if we're too much in that fight or flight mode and not enough in that rest and digest mode, so we need to have more weight on this side to balance things out, our body's not going to function properly, and that's going to affect every system and not just fertility, not just our reproductive health. So one of the things that we invite you to do is come in, have a conversation with us, ask me questions, have a consultation, sit down, let's go over what ways we might be able to help you to achieve better balance and release some of those chronic stress patterns and hopefully work on some of those root causes that can affect your reproductive health.